Oh my gosh, you have to know about this technology. As my face is moving, it's measuring the expression in my face. Hume expands the possibilities way beyond what we're seeing right now. Remember when AI voices sounded robotic and lifeless? Well, those days are officially over. With Hume AI, you can not only create agents that have natural conversations that sound like humans, but they have the ability to detect emotion and feel. Hey amplifiers, Paige here from Amplify Voice. Welcome if you're new to the channel. Today we're exploring Hume AI and I am super excited about this. And we're diving specifically into their emotional intelligence EVI2 model and something that just dropped, their brand new Octave text-to-speech model. So whether you're building voice AI agents for sales or for customer service or even for education, you have to know about this technology. So let's break it down. At its core, Hume's EVI2 voice-to-voice model can handle real-time conversation. It doesn't just process words, it's able to understand and respond with the appropriate emotional context. And we're gonna look into the platform today. Here's a quick glimpse behind Hume AI's dashboard. And as you can see, their new release, the Octave text-to-speech platform, is front and center. We're gonna dive into that in a little bit later. But really the core of Hume AI is their EV1-2 model, which is a voice-to-voice model. And the emotional intelligence engine that's behind Hume AI's platform has been built on years of research into how humans perceive and express emotions. There's also this really cool feature here where on video, Hume can detect emotion real time, and you can see a little demo of this happening here. We'll get an inside look into this as well, so that when we have video, potentially video avatars, or other applications for video and voice AI, there is live emotional detection happening on the spot, which then allows the model to respond again with the appropriate emotional context and sort of match the user with where they're at. So let's explore a little bit. Here you have the Octave text-to-speech. You can design your own voice and go to the playground. You'll also find that appear with this drop-down takes you to the same place. So the text-to-speech playground is a really great place if you're looking for AI voices to, for example, narrate a story or maybe give updates about a news headline. You can pick a voice. You can try playing around with some of these examples. So let's try some disgust, okay?
No, I hate the way it feels, all slimy and just disgusting. I cannot believe you actually expected me to touch that. My hands are still tingling from it. Gross, gross, gross!
So you can save this as a new voice, you can download it. If I remove the text, we can try something else. So let's do an example of embarrassment.
Haha, I didn't realize this was a formal event. Hence the Batman pajamas. I thought it was just going to be a casual thing at your house. I feel so incredibly underdressed.
Okay, let's try one more. I'm going to delete this. Let's do some awe. Okay.
The way it all comes together, it's beyond anything I could have imagined. Every element works in perfect harmony, creating something greater than the sum of its parts.
You can also put in your own text. So let's say the world feels crazy right now. I just want to curl up and read a good book under a tree. And we can select a voice. As you can see, they have quite a lot of personalities. Let's see what the shouting voice sounds like.
Hey, you there. What do you think you're doing? Get back in line, now.
Or the sarcastic Londoner.
Oh wait, how's that bloody thing even work then?
Okay, let's see how that sounds with our sentence. Okay.
The world feels crazy right now. I just want to curl up and read a good book under a tree.
Okay, let's try it with a different voice. So we did, what about sitcom girl? Let's try that.
The world feels crazy right now. I just want to curl up and read a good book under a tree.
So we can also go here to voices and you can see all the preset voices that they have, which they've added quite a lot since when I started first using Hume. You can also design your own voice, which is really cool. You would come up here and click create voice. You can give it a sentence, and then you can either explain and prompt it with what you want the voice to sound like, or Hume will generate automatically the type of voice depending on the context of the sentence, which is pretty cool. So when you're ready to level up, you can also go here to projects. We don't have the upgraded account because we're not really using this feature, but it does allow you to upload different file formats. Maybe it's a chapter in a book, maybe it's a research paper, maybe it's an advertisement. This is where you can get really creative. But you get additional tools when you upgrade your account for the toolkit, supporting additional file formats with a broader empathic voice catalog and some other tools for narrative structuring. Now let's take a look at really the beating heart of Hume AI, which is the empathic voice interface. And you'll see it here in this drop down. You can go to the playground, you can access everything here. So let's check it out. So for those of you that are already familiar with building voice agents in Vopi or maybe retail or another platform, this playground here using the empathic voice interface is where you would come to build and test your agent. On the right-hand side is where all the settings lived, and also you'll find the system prompt. This is the agent we're working with, which is an Amplify voice agent. We can select which model we want to use. The EV2 is the latest model, so we're going to work with that today. You can pick your voice. There are some preset voices. And what's really cool is you can also customize these voices. So if you click here and you go to create voice, you can give it a name. You can base it off of one of these preset voices, and then you get all of these toggles to adjust the voice attributes based on, more masculine, more feminine, more assertive, more nasality, more relaxedness, which is a really cool way to customize your voice and really create it so that it reflects your brand and it reflects the messaging that you're going for in your business. So if you haven't played around with this, get in there. It's super cool. For now, we're gonna stick with Cora because I know you all are super excited about seeing how this call is gonna go. Another thing I wanna highlight here is that, again, EVI2 is a voice-to-voice model. So here is where you can select a supplemental LLM for the voice-to-text generation. As you can see, you get a lot of options. Still waiting for Claude 3.7. I'm sure it's coming soon, but we're gonna keep it at 3.5 Sonnet since that is the recommended model. But you can also use GPT or Gemini or Llama, whatever you prefer. And that will largely depend on your prompt and your use case. Here you'll find the system prompt and also a temperature setting. So we're gonna keep it at 2 for now. Again, this controls the level of determinism that the agent will have. So higher temperature is less deterministic. Lower temperature is sort of more order taker, following the prompt to a T. And then you have some other toggles here that are pretty standard. Timeouts for inactivity or the maximum duration of the call. Do you want the agent to start the conversation? Do you want the user to start the conversation? Here there's an inactivity message you can set if there's a bunch of silence on the call and you want the agent to say something. And down here you have your tools. This model does allow you to do live web searches on a call. So if the user is asking some questions that might not be in your knowledge base or in your prompt, it can actually conduct a real web search, which is super cool. Let's see how this goes.
Hi, I'm Saya, Amplify's conversational AI's partner.
Hey Saya, how's it going?
I'm doing great, thanks for asking. I noticed you submitted a project form on our website, and I have to say I'm really looking forward to learning more about what you have in mind. Since you seem open to a chat, what sparked your interest in exploring voice AI?
Well, it seems like it's all the rage right now, and I figured I'd better hop on board.
That's a really thoughtful approach. You're right, voice AI is having quite a moment, but what's exciting is how it's actually transforming real business outcomes. For example, we recently helped a digital marketing agency automate their lead follow-up with Saya Lead, and they saw their response times drop from hours to minutes, with a significant boost in conversion rates. Since you're exploring this space, I'm curious, what aspect of voice AI interests you the most? Is it more about customer service, lead generation, or perhaps something else entirely?
Well, I've been pretty frustrated with trying to get a hold of service lines, and it feels like that shouldn't be a problem. So I'm really interested in how voice AI can help answer customer questions more quickly and accurately.
I completely understand that frustration. Waiting on hold or navigating complex phone menus can be really draining. It's actually one of the key problems we solve with Saya Voice, our AI receptionist solution. We've designed it to answer customer questions instantly, 24/7, while maintaining a natural, helpful conversation, much like we're having right now. Since you're focused on improving customer service response times, could you tell me a bit more about your current setup? For instance, what types of questions do your customers typically ask?
I think that's a little personal, so I don't feel comfortable answering that question.
I completely respect your privacy and appreciate you letting me know. Let me shift gears a bit. Instead of discussing your specific situation, would you be interested in hearing about how Saya Voice handles different types of customer interactions in general? This way, you can get a sense of the possibilities without sharing any sensitive information.
Well, I would actually be interested in understanding how I could get an AI receptionist for myself. Like, how do I work with Amplify Voice?
I totally understand wanting to know the practical side of working with an AI receptionist. Saya Voice is designed to be really user-friendly, while being incredibly capable. Think of it as a team member who's always ready to help, handles calls professionally, and learns your preferences over time. The best way to understand exactly how it would work for your specific needs would be through a quick discovery call with our Amplify team. They can walk you through the setup process, customization options, and even demonstrate how you'll interact with the system day to day. Would you be open to scheduling a brief call with them? They can show you firsthand how straightforward it is to get started.
Yeah, sure, I'm open to that.
Wonderful. Let's get that set up for you. First, could you let me know what time zone you're in? This will help me suggest a time that works well for you.
I am in Bogota, Colombia.
Excellent. Bogota is in Eastern Time, which works perfectly with our team schedule. Would you be available tomorrow at 2 p.m. your time? That's when our solution specialists typically have great availability for in-depth demonstrations. If that doesn't work, we could also look at Friday at the same time.
How about tomorrow at 1 p.m.?
Perfect. I'll schedule you for tomorrow at 1 p.m. Bogota time. Before I confirm this, could you let me know the best email address to send the calendar invitation to?
Okay, we're gonna stop it there. You'll notice we are getting a few error messages here, nothing crazy. That's just because in the prompt, we're extracting the first name from someone who submits a lead form on our website. So since we're testing it out, we're not getting that, nothing to worry about. What's really cool to highlight here is that as the conversation is going on, the model is detecting emotion in the moment and giving it a bit of a score. So here it's detecting some excitement, some interest, and some determination. And then it's also rating the emotional tonality in and of itself. I was being a little stubborn here when I didn't want to give it any personal information. I think it's a little personal. It was detecting some awkwardness and some doubt, and then kind of responding to adapt in the moment. So this feature is incredibly unique, and it makes me super excited for what this could mean for potential use cases in the voice AI space. When I was exploring Hume 4 to 6 months ago, it wasn't as good as it is now. There were some latency issues, and I think that's probably why we don't see a lot of people deploying production level agents using Hume right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see more and more production level agents being deployed by Hume as the technology keeps getting better. And in addition to getting visibility into the text-to-speech chat through this platform, we also get a summary of all of the logs. There aren't any functions being called in this prompt right now, and a summary of how things went. So it kind of gives you top expressions, highest peaks, different averages. Super interesting to look at all of these numbers. And super interesting how they've been able to use the research that this platform is built on to be able to create these metrics. So we go over here to the configurations tab. This will show you all of your agents, what they call as configurations. You can create a configuration from scratch, or you can use some of their quick templates that they have here. They kind of guide you with what some of the best models are used for. So according to them, Gemini, Ito, and interview prep prompt, great use case for this, by the way. Best personality, potentially offering mental health support. And then anything for quick answers like a research assistant, maybe uses GPT-4 Mini. You'll see here you have your API reference and documentation guide so that you can connect Hume AI to whatever systems that you're using. A little bit of a guide to understand how this all works. And then over here, you'll have your tool calls. This also gives you a little bit of your chat history. And then this feature, which I mentioned at the very beginning, is also where you can come to the playground. And I love that they call this a playground because it makes it super fun. You can come here and test out the facial expressions yourself. So as I'm talking, as my face is moving, it's measuring the expression in my face. And I don't even have to say anything. So this is just fun to come and play around with. And also listen for vocal burst. Oh my gosh. and you get some feedback from that. And this feature I haven't really played around with, but this helps you to explore on a bit of a deeper level patterns in speech and tonality and rhythm that might give you some deeper implicit understanding beyond the words that are actually being said into what that person is feeling. And this is a feature that I feel has huge potential for expanding the use cases that we're seeing right now for the implementation of voice AI. One other thing I want to show you before diving into some potential use cases is this custom models here. So you can actually create your own custom model here to cater to a very specific use case, which depending on what it is, which has an incredibly high potential to increase the performance of your outputs and the efficacy of the model. We're just gonna scroll through some of the custom models that they already have pre-built in here, but as you can see, you can go up here and create your own custom model. You can view your data sets. If we go down here, they have, self-confident versus self-doubting versus distracted, alert versus dizzy. These I'm super excited to dive a little deeper into. Best or worst baker. Just a few examples to give you a little taste of what this is. I mentioned it before, it's worth saying it again, but Hume AI's empathic language model really has the potential to open up a lot of new doors for businesses that are seeking creative ways to leverage voice AI technology. We're seeing a lot of deployments for voice AI agents as receptionists or speed to lead agents or database reactivation campaigns. Those are key products that our business is focused on, but Hume expands the possibilities way beyond what we're seeing right now. And I think it's important to mention that having a model that's able to detect emotion and adapt its speech to mirror the user, again, it's not about replacing the human, but it's about thinking about use cases where you might have a user on the other end of the phone going through a range of emotions. Imagine an AI agent that is deployed for customer support. So customers call in with whatever issues they might be having. They're frustrated, they're angry, they're annoyed, they're upset, and they might be taking it out on the agent. Now, if it's a human and you're getting berated over and over again for hours, it's gonna be really hard to keep your cool. The AI agent has the instruction to constantly respond with a kind and even-keeled temperament. They're going to do that every single time. And where Hume takes it to the next level with emotion detection and tonality response is that they can actually detect that frustration in the user's voice and perhaps respond then with a little more gentleness or some acknowledgement of their frustration or some kindness to help diffuse the situation. But if we go beyond even that, think about education for a moment. Imagine a language learning assistant that can perfectly model native accents and respond with encouraging tones as the student makes progress, or when the student gets frustrated. And let's translate education over into training for workplace development. In healthcare, for example, the AI can be a great role play partner, and it can model and create various levels of emotional depth in these role play scenarios so that healthcare professionals can practice having difficult conversations with patients and be prepared for when they're doing it in the real world. Leveraging a large language model with emotional intelligence and understanding can also be incredibly beneficial for self-development. We're already seeing a lot of AI agents being deployed in the life coaching and personal coaching space. But Hume AI steps it up because now you can create a personal AI coach that can truly engage in emotionally intelligent conversation and can adjust their approach based on your responses. But when we look at things like generating narratives or creating content for your YouTube channel or even podcast simulations, having this precise emotional tone that you need for your videos, for your podcast, or whatever it is that you might be creating that accurately reflects you and your brand is a huge game changer. All of this is accessible through Hume's API, which makes it easy for you to integrate with your other projects. Hume provides both WebSocket and REST APIs, along with SDKs for TypeScript and Python. In my next video, we'll be diving a little deeper into implementation. So if you're not already subscribed to our channel and you've made it this far in the video, now is a great time to click like, subscribe to our channel so you can stay tuned for all of the updates and the next series of videos that we'll be releasing all about Hume AI. If there are any specific integrations or implementations that you'd like to see using Hume, let us know and we'll see what we can do. We're all about building community and leveraging this technology to deepen human connections. So if you haven't already joined us in our community on School, You can join us using the link in the description. If you want to work with us, there's a submit a project link where you can go in, submit your project, and we'll contact you from there. And if you're looking for developer resources or one-on-one consultations with our dev team, you'll also find that link in the description below. Stay tuned for more exciting voice AI content coming your way. Let's keep innovating and let's stay human.